on that video. Let me begin by saying, whether it's an all boys or all girls or co-educational institution, school, bullying, bullying and the perpetration of violence, assault, which is a criminal act, on students has been with us for a long time. I went to school graduated from high school nearly 50 years ago, and we saw it. Yes, we saw it in school. It is a behavior that spans decades. Hmm? The question, the key issue for us is how we respond, how the school community respond. That is the key. Because we know where people, young people, not so young people, even middle-aged people, have to interact, there are those among us who will seek to bully, to intimidate, to perpetrate violence, to assault. Yes? Let us begin from there. So the key question is not that we have this kind of behavior in school. The key issue is how do the authorities, how do the stakeholders in the respective institutions, and here we're talking about schools, recognize and admit that this is happening or has happened and deal with it. That is a key issue facing not only Jamaica College this morning, the leadership of Jamaica College, and the leadership from the Ministry of Education that will have to be provided. That is the issue this morning. How are the stakeholders in our different schools, institutions are responding? Because if you do not admit and recognize that we have a problem, you have a problem, you can't begin to fix it. And I'm afraid that that is the situation at Jamaica College, where the leadership of the school and the school community stakeholders do not seem to recognize and admit that there's a problem there. Why do I say that? Well, on the 14th of April, the Jamaica College Parent Teachers Association issued a statement. This statement followed an incident of not bullying, but assault, violence perpetrated on a student that left that student seriously injured, damage to one of his eyes, left him lame and unable to go to school for days. And the school community reacted in a very defensive way. And this statement on April 14, see it on the YouTube page, says that the association wishes to state clearly that based on its own engagement with parents, students, and the wider school community, it has found no evidence to support claims of pervasive gang culture or systemic bullying at Jamaica College. The PTA takes its responsibility to safeguard the welfare of its children very seriously and would be among the first to raise concern and demand accountability if such conditions existed. And then it goes on to say, where isolated incidents may arise, as they can in any school environment, the PTA is satisfied that the institution has in place structured, responsive, and effective systems to address them. In particular, the association recognizes the work of the Dean of Discipline, the Dean of Student Affairs, and the Guidance Department, all of whom play a critical role in maintaining order, supporting students, and fostering a positive school culture. Now, you think about those words from the Jamaica College Parent Teachers Association with this video, the video of a child, another student, yeah, being physically assaulted in a most disturbing way. Very disturbing. And we're going to show you that video because Jamaica College and the stakeholders, and I dare say the wider Jamaica, we've got to confront this problem. This is a problem that leaves serious psychological damage, hurt, trauma on those who have been victims. If you've ever been the subject of this kind of violence and bullying, you carry it with you for a long time. You can be permanently scarred by it. And what concerns us is a seeming lack of admission and recognition by the leadership of the school community, that is Jamaica College, that it has a problem. It has a problem. In fact, there's no school in Jamaica that can claim with any degree of certainty that it doesn't have incidents, whether pervasive or not, of this, because Jamaican society is violent and schools are a microcosm of the violence in the wider society. The children are coming from homes where they see and live this kind of physical violence, not only from their homes, but their communities. When you look at this video, when you see it, you just see the mannerism of the lead perpetrator. His gait, his style of walking, the nonverbal communication, like him had done. Yeah? I beat up the people in Picnic. And let me tell you something I can very well understand. I see the comments online. If that boy were my son, my grandson, how would I react? And this is where we have to restrain ourselves. Because when you see how they circle the young man, yes, and inflict the physical violence on him, it is disheartening. It made my blood boil. And so many questions. Before going viral, was the leadership of Jamaica College aware of this? Was the leadership of the PTA aware of this? When were they made aware of this? What did they do? The PTA speaks about it has a system that is, let me find where isolated incidents, it has in place, quote, structured, responsive, and effective systems to address them. Did that responsive and structured system kick in after this incident? the moment it happened or shortly thereafter. The leadership of Jamaica College can't continue to remain silent, you know. They cannot. And every PTA across the country must now ask of their school leaders, what is your policy? What are your systems to deal with such incidents? Because, as I said, I'm sure it's not only a problem at Jamaica College. After the break, we're going to play you that video, and we warn you, it is hard to watch. But this incident, in the public interest to deal with a problem that's been with us, we need to be open and honest about it. We have a problem. We can't continue to sweep it under the carpet. After the break.
My hands were steady.